give you some new memories.
10 of the scariest animatronics ever released by Spirit Halloween Ghoulies, ranked on Tier List Tuesday. This is the Voina experience. What's happening, Ghoulies? Welcome back to the Voina experience. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and being a part of our experience here. Today, Ghoulies, we are going to be taking a look at what we here at TVE think to be 10 of Spirit Halloween's scariest animatronics ever released. Now, of course, there are a lot of animatronics to choose from out there, Ghoulies, so narrowing this list down to just 10 was definitely difficult, but we did our best to do what we think is justice to Spirit Halloween's scariest animatronics. So, before we get started, Ghoulies, if you love us here and you are fans of TVE, give this video a thumbs up. Comment if you agree with this list. Share this video with your friends, and please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video. Now, Ghoulies, let's head over to tierlistmaker.com and get started with our ranking. All right, Ghoulies, here we are on tiermaker.com, and you can see our standard tier rankings from awesome, like, okay, and just plain no. And here are the contenders for today's tier list ranking, and they are Twitching Banshee, Spasm, Waving Walle, Morning Gory, Coat Rack Monster, Lunging Lily, Creepy Rising Doll, Eaten Alive, Miss Mercy, and Rocking Horse Dolly. Now remember, Ghoulies, that all of these animatronics are personal favorites of ours, so if I could put them all in the awesome category, I would. And in some cases, who knows, maybe one day they'll all end up there. But for all intents and purposes, we are ranking these animatronics against each other. But in the grand scheme of things, they are all 100% awesome and winners in our opinion. So here we go. First, we've got the Twitching Banshee. Guys, this animatronic is super scary, freaky, weird, and it screams, and it is unnerving and chilling for sure. This thing has got a creepy, scary, intense face, and overall is a terrifying animatronic. However, Ghoulies, after a few minutes of listening to Twitching Banshee, it does tend to get a little bit annoying, so I can't really say it's 100% awesome, but I do like this animatronic a lot, and it is incredibly cool. Next up here is Spasm. Now, Spasm is a Spirit Halloween fan favorite, guys, and actually seems to be one that's like really hard to get, and people seem to really want it and will pay lots of money to get this guy. He's just a simple animatronic with a very creepy, intense, wrapped up, like, insane asylum, straight jacket look here with foam coming out of his mouth. And he just sits there and shakes and makes this creepy, unnerving, laughing sound. A very effectively creepy animatronic, Ghoulies. But in the grand scope of things, he really doesn't do much else but just kind of sit there and shake and laugh at you, which, yes, again, is awesome and does make him creepy. But when compared to some of these animatronics on the list here, he actually kind of ranks a little bit lower than I thought he would. And he's just kind of okay. I mean, I do like him, but, out of all these other ones, I think I would probably want something else as opposed to him, and probably would buy him a little bit later on down the list. Which brings us next up to Waving Walle, Ghoulies. Now, you all, if you've watched our videos in the past, know exactly how I feel about Waving Walle. This is an incredibly, terrifyingly creepy animatronic, guys. Not only is it a clown, which automatically makes it creepy in my book, and you guys know we like clowns here, but he just stands there in the shadows, waving at you with this old-fashioned look, plays this really creepy music, and has these children laughing as his soundtrack, and has these really calming phrases. He doesn't have a scary voice. There's nothing like obviously scary about him. But the more you watch Waving Walle, the more underneath your skin he gets, and is extremely terrifying. And Ghoulies, this is one that I would love to see re-released one day, and I think He is totally awesome. And I absolutely love this animatronic and hope we get him back one day. Okay, Ghoulies, that brings us next up is Morning Gory here. Morning as in sad and not like, you know, the morning. But this is a really creepy and unique animatronic, guys, where she's holding this umbrella and she's saying some phrases to you, and then the umbrella snaps around, revealing her terrifying phrase and scares the pants off of you really fast because, like, you're just not expecting it. And she's got this really scary face with these LED lights in her eyes. And she says some pretty creepy phrases. And Morning Gory is actually a pretty overall scary animatronic. But again, when you kind of compare her to the other animatronics in this list, she's kind of in the same boat as Spasm, in where she's really kind of creepy. But after you get used to her jump scare, ultimately she's not going to have much of a residual effect as compared to the other animatronics. So she also is going to kind of rank a little bit down here next to Spasm as being, you know, just that okay. All right, so next up, Ghoulies, is one of my personal favorites here is the Coat Rack Monster. Now, guys, this is a really cool and really different design, and I just really love it. It's very creative animatronic. It starts off as just a normal-looking coat rack, which I think is what gives it its edge. And then it springs to life and reveals this monster that is the coat rack itself. And guys, this is a really cool animatronic because not only does it scare you as a jump scare, but it's one that you can leave out all year long, and people aren't even really going to know that it's an animatronic until it scares the crap out of them, because in its resting position, it actually looks like a real coat rack, and you wouldn't know the difference. And because of that, it's like a camouflaged scare toy. So, Ghoulies, Coat Rack Monster definitely is going to go up here in the awesome category for me because of how versatile he is and just how much use you could get out of an animatronic like this. For sure, 100% awesome. All right, so coming up next is Lunging Lily, guys. This is a really great jump scare animatronic. She is really creepy. She starts in this little low, and she's really demonic holding this toy, and she's making this really creepy, like, what is it, like laughing, just... Oh, she just has this unnerving soundtrack that just gets under your skin, and then boom, she jump scares you and you're just dead on the floor. She is completely awesome, and I would put her in an awesome category, Ghoulies, except for the fact that I feel that her jump scare gets a little predictable after one or two views of the animatronic, which kind of drops her scare factor ultimately when compared to some of the other two that are up on the top. But she is definitely worthy of a like. So right now, guys, we got an equal number of awesome, like, and okay. And thankfully, look, nothing down here in the nose. So I think we're doing pretty good. Which brings us to Creepy Rising Doll, and specifically the most recent re-release of Creepy Rising Doll, guys, because I think they added some extra layers to her costume that gave her a pretty extra cool, creepy vibe. And since we are judging the scare factor here, I think it bumped her up definitely a notch from her original design. And Creepy Rising Doll is definitely a fan favorite from Spirit Halloween. She starts off low as a nice friendly doll, then slowly rises, transforming her voice and soundtrack into this really creepy demonic thing, and is very unnerving and scary. And every time I watch videos or demos of Creepy Rising Doll, I am always effectively scared and creeped out by her. So guys, because of that fact, I'm going to give her an awesome, like, I don't even own this one. I've never even seen it in person, and it scares me every time I see the video. So she has to be awesome. All right, Ghoulies, so that brings us up to Eaten Alive, and I want to give credit to Cole Walker from the Spirit Halloween fandom site for bringing this one to my attention. Kind of forgot about this animatronic, and this one is pretty darn creepy, guys. Like, it's this animatronic, it's like a half-eaten corpse, and inside of it's this rat that's just, like, devouring the inside of this corpse, and he's, like, you know, screaming and writhing and making these really unnerving sounds, and then he rises up and the rat's moving, and it just makes your stomach kind of hurt, and And I kind of have to say that because of that physical effect that I get from watching the video of this animatronic, guys, and because of how classic he looks, Eaten Alive is pretty awesome. I think he deserves a spot up here with these other contenders, even though he's a little bit older of an animatronic. Okay, guys, so our last two here are Miss Mercy and Rocking Horse Dolly. Guys, Miss Mercy, if you know anything about our videos, you know I'm a fan of this animatronic for sure. In fact, had to buy stilts just because of the fact that I missed Miss Mercy, and I love that twisting head motion that she's got. The fact that she's this really weird, demented nurse that doesn't even look male or female in the face. It's just kind of like this thing, and it's the soundtrack on the bone crunching when she spins her head and she makes these really creepy bone crunching sounds, and it just makes me cringe. And even as I'm talking about it, like my face is making these really creepy things. She's awesome, guys, for sure. Miss Mercy is sitting up top up here with the rest of these guys, ultimately leaving us with Rocking Horse Dolly. And guys, this is a very creepy animatronic. It's this doll thing sitting on a horse that rocks back and forth, and she makes really eerie sounds, and the eyes light up, and it kind of has, the doll, just like Creepy Rising Doll and Darling Dolly, the dolls always have a really good creepy edge. But ultimately, though, she does just sit there kind of rocking back and forth. So because of that, I mean, that's what she is. She's a rocking horse. So, I want to say she's awesome, but after a while, you kind of get used to it. So she doesn't have like a lingering creepy effect as these other ones do, but she's definitely a scare contender for sure. So she's going to ride right up here in the light category. All right, Ghoulies, so there you have it, our tier list for the scariest top 10 Spirit Halloween animatronics, with the winner, of course, being Awesome once again. Spirit Halloween always seems to have the winner in the awesome category. Nothing ended up down here in the red, so that's good. Only 2 down here, and I know I'm probably going to get some flack for that spasm, but hey, I stand by my statements, Ghoulies. But hey, drop us a comment. What do you think? Do you agree with the tier list? Let us know. And also, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss our next video. And until next time, keep it spooky, Ghoulies.